What's going on, y'all? This is Elijah here, coming at you with another video from the uberlifestyle.com, your one-stop shop for all things rideshare, customer and driver life. In this video, we're going to be covering part 3 of the Ubereats training course on how to be a pro driver. In this video, we'll be covering hotspots and the customer app. Now, you'll figure out what a hotspot is. I've been kind of hinting to it this whole course, but for the moment, we want to jump to the customer app, because just like the Ubereats, the customer app, meaning the Ubereats customer app, plays a large role in your income. Because most people know with Ubereats, you use that customer or passenger app, right? It'll give you a lot of information. Same goes with the customer app on the Ubereats platform. So we're going to start by pulling it up. This is the customer app, obviously, and it's going to give us some information we're definitely going to need, so you want to stay tuned. There's two main things you want to look at for this video, aside from the food. You might be hungry and like, man, after I finish this video, I'm going to look at some of this stuff to order. But you want to look at two things: the booking fee and the timing. Now, what is the timing? It's the money guarantee that Uber is guaranteeing their customer. See, Uber Eats, well, Uber in general is all about maximum efficiency, and you're guaranteed that food within a certain time range. That's very important because that's going to determine a certain amount of value for these restaurants for you as a driver. Now, the booking fee, we'll cover that a little in this video towards the end, and more so in part 6 when we cover tips. But for right now, look at that timing. So you see these restaurants, they say between 30 minutes and 40 minutes, between 35 and 45, etc. You want to keep that information in mind, all right? And like I said, the booking fee, we're going to cover what that is later. But we're going to go ahead and jump into hotspots. I just want you to remember those two main things that I just said. Kind of let that sit for a little while. Now, hotspots. Got my notes right here in front of me for y'all. So as usual, if I look down here, that's what I'm doing. All right. Now, right off the bat for you UberX drivers, hotspots works very different on the Ubereats platform. On UberX, it's all dependent on you being in a certain spot, and it's all dependent on that's the highest chance you'll get for rides. So let's say you're outside the club, it's about to close, all these people are coming out, you know that's a hotspot. That works for UberX, won't work for Ubereats. Because like we covered in the last video, the algorithm is completely different, okay? So, what is a hotspot? A hotspot is a place you can go for the most likelihood of receiving a ping, okay? That's a hotspot. A lot of people on the Ubereats platform think that hotspots are a conglomeration of restaurants, and they are not, okay? I call those just spots. They have plenty of restaurants, and yes, you could get a ping from them, but that doesn't mean you're guaranteed a ping. We covered in the little last video, and we'll go further in the next video on why that is. Because there's a chance if you're hanging out this conglomeration of restaurants that you'll get a ping, but you may not necessarily be given priority to that. Someone else could get it, and if they're more experienced, they know how to get it over you. We'll save that for next video. Just get familiar with the definition of words. So spots, conglomeration of restaurants, and hotspots. Now, for hotspots, here's what you need to understand. A hotspot is birthed between 2 or more spots. So really, the more spots that's in between, the better. So we're gonna say spot 1, spot 2. Where's the hotspot? Hotspot is gonna be right in between those. Why? Because that Ubereats algorithm we covered last video, it plays a big role in it. Just keep all this in mind, because it's gonna go somewhere for the next video, okay? So if you need to, write this stuff down, because it's going to be critical, right? So moving on to the next thing, what you need to know next. I know y'all saying I'm using the spots all the time, but it keeps things simple. But next we're going to cover what a money spot is, all right? Now, a money spot, it is different from a hotspot. How is it different? A money spot is literally what it means. It's somewhere where you can go and make the maximum amount of money in your market. Now, what determines a money spot? That's what we're about to go over. Now, can a hotspot be a money spot? Potentially, yes. But that doesn't mean that just because a hotspot is a hotspot. It's a money spot. All right. Hotspots are determined based on that's just the highest chance you're gonna get a ping in that place. That doesn't mean that you're gonna be guaranteed $15 an hour or $18 an hour. I hate using it per hour because it makes it seem like a job, but use it as a measuring tool. So whatever, you'll get familiar with, oh man, that's a long trip. I'm getting paid a lot for this particular ride in your market. Keep the highs and lows in mind. And if you find out you're going to a certain spot, you're always making certain money and it's on the high end, that is a money spot, okay? Now what determines a money spot? Bouncing back to the customer app, look at that booking fee. See, the customer app gives you a wealth of information if you know how to read it. So the booking fee, you see some say $2.99, $4.99, $6.99. The booking fee is basically what the customer is paying in addition to their food. So that's basically the delivery fee on the customer's end. So do you think that a booking fee of $2.99 is going to have more value than a booking fee of $6.99? Obviously not. The delivery fee is higher based on the distance. Simple as that. So if you're going, let's say there's a bunch of restaurants around and you look at the customer app, you pull it up, all these restaurants have booking fees of $6.99. That means there's a chance that these rides are going to go far, right? So you get a request from wherever, the restaurant, pick it up, you find that's going like 10 miles away, like, dang. And of course you're getting paid for that, right? If that restaurant is always getting orders, you're always getting sent that far, I would categorize that as a money spot. That's a place you can go, excuse me, to get the maximum amount of money in your market. And that's golden. So what determines a money spot is your bottom line. Like once you finish that trip, stop and look at how much that trip was worth. And if you're getting a lot of orders that fit that quality, mark that as a money spot. Very key. So what determines a money spot? It could be boost offer, which we'll be covering in part 6, but it's basically a bonus on top of whatever you're getting. It could be the particular tips. I mean, if someone's paying a higher booking fee, usually they probably got money and they want that particular restaurant. You think they're gonna have the capability to tip more? I believe so. Versus someone who's paying and the booking fee is like $2.99, it's around the corner. Gotta take that in consideration. What else? What determines the quality? Obviously distance, like we covered. So these are measuring tools you can measure your money spots by. Now all these spots mean you can do it. I don't recommend it. I don't do it because it makes it too mental. But all these spots, in the next video, we'll be covering the Waze app and how to program these spots into your Waze app. That way you don't have to just keep all this clumped in your head and go crazy. You can just put it on the Waze app, and when you're ready to head to it, press a few buttons and bam, you're heading to the spot. Now, some people recommend this strategy and I don't agree. If you want to be a pro driver, you got to cut this out. But when you finish a ride or finish dropping off food, maybe drive around the corner because you don't want to wait outside someone's house. That's creepy. Drive around the corner, then set up shop. All right, I'm going to wait for my next request. Based on the information I just told you, if you're in the middle of freaking nowhere or just nowhere special, do you think you're going to get a ping? Probably not. You need to reposition yourself. A lot of people say, well, I'm not getting paid on the way to the restaurant, etc. Well, at the end of the day, how much money are you making? Do you think if you head back to a hotspot or a money spot, you'll be making more than if you just sit there and wait for a ride? You sit there and wait for a ride and it's not popping, you be waiting for like 30 minutes or whatever. Versus you go ahead and head to the money spot or the hotspot. I usually head to whichever one is closest, but that's up to you. Then obviously you're going to be getting paid more. Plus, this is a business. Treat it like a business. Don't treat it like a job. The only thing that matters is profit and loss, assets and liabilities. And if you keep that particular mindset as you're heading back to these hot spots, these money spots, to the restaurant, the mileage that you are moving, hey, write it off. Not a CPA, but I'm just saying. But that covers it for this video. We basically covered the customer app and the types of spots per se. That's going to be very critical in the next video, and you'll see why. So, recap with the customer app. What information did you learn about? what is the booking fee? Why is it important? We'll go further into why it's important in the tips section on video 6. And the timing. How long is it taking the restaurant to bring the customer their food? That's what you learned about the customer app. And what did you learn about spots? Hotspot. We'll cover spot first. Spot. Conglomeration of restaurants. Hotspot. A place where you have the maximum probability of getting a ping. Money spot. A spot where the quality money you make off that order is on the high end. Okay? Those are your type of spots, and that's the information we covered in this video. Stay tuned for the next video where we'll be covering, ways, and we'll start integrating a lot of the things that I just mentioned. Because right now, this is more of a definitions video. Ooh. Next video, it's going to take you from being the average Uber driver to being the pro Uber driver, or Uber Eats driver rather. This is Elijah. If you haven't done so, swing by to uberlifestyle.com. You can get more information on Uber Eats and UberX. And if you have any questions, leave them below. Peace out.